Welcome guys, I'm on the moon. It's so beautiful out here with all the stars, and man, finally some silence from all the loudness going on Earth. They have my buddy Buzz just enjoying himself, man. But let me show you guys something. Oh no. I'm sorry, Mr. Kubrick. I'm so sorry. I will never do it. Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm doing moontastic. Today we are talking about the most talked about conspiracy theories ever. Is the moon landing fake? For the people who don't know, the moon landing was a space mission conducted in 1969 by NASA. We called it the Apollo 11 space mission. It was a whole happening, broadcasted all over the world. Everyone tuned in. Then on July 21st, 2:56, the now famous astronaut Neil Armstrong was the first man to step foot on the moon, and then was quoted saying the famous words, "One step for man, one giant leap for mankind." But what if I told you it was all fake? That the US government lied to you? Matter of fact, the whole world lied to you. What if this all was filmed in a big studio? Why do people believe this? Today we're gonna find out. After both defeating Germany, both the USA and the USSR sought after spreading their influence and way of ruling all over the world. However, these two had completely different visions on this. One wanted capitalism and one wanted communism. Both parties wanted nothing to do with each other and definitely didn't want their ideologies to spread over the world. Therefore, a rivalry started, and there came the Cold War. But what does this have to do with the moon landing being faked, you may ask? It had all to do with what's called the space race. It was a race between the USA and the USSR to see who could be the fastest exploring space. Going to the moon will be one of the biggest accomplishments in human history. It will bring you so much more attention, money and worldwide acclaim. It will make your nation look like the best and the smartest. This is a big reason why the USA wanted to go there first, to stroke that big ego. According to the conspiracy theorists, the USA was so scared the USSR was catching up that they fabricated the whole thing. But today I want to show you 9 of the most popular conspiracy theories of the moon landing, from the most logical to the dumbest. 1. Radiation. The radiation most people were concerned with was the radiation from the Van Allen radiation belt. When the rocket was shot from Earth, there was no problem. But the problem came when you were 600 kilometers from Earth. This radiation could destroy satellites and could be very dangerous for you if you stay too long there. So, simple solution, don't stay too long there. And they didn't at all, just a few hours. They just took as much radiation as a hospital CT scan to their body. But of course that's not all the radiation you have to deal with. Here comes the sun shooting radiation bursts at you. These radiation bursts are a big problem. But the module was equipped with a thick layer of aluminium, hoping this would protect the astronauts. But they were lucky, no such radiation bursts happened. 2. They didn't have the technology. Conspiracy theorists' favorite argument. They didn't have the technology. Humans could never build pyramids. They were all underdeveloped, and humans could have never drawn the Nazca lines. They didn't have helicopters. Helicopter! But what if they had helicopters? Okay, now go to the left. Okay, now a bit to the right. Alright. Okay, now a very big circle. But what are we making exactly? Don't worry, it's gonna be beautiful. Okay, we're done. What are you laughing for? Oh, nothing. But let's get back to the subject. The USA didn't have the technology back then to go to the moon. Imagine you lived in 1961. Your dad is reading the newspaper. And what do you see there? The first human space flight. The Soviet citizen Yuri Gagarin was the first human to go to space. Then the following year, President John F. Kennedy promised the USA that they will go to the moon this decade. From then on, everyone was interested. It was one of the hottest topics of the decade. Every little improvement, every development was shown in the papers. And there were hundreds of books and documentaries made about the progress. Hundreds of thousands of people worked on it for years. If there was anything that seemed impossible about the moon missions, thousands of engineers around the world would have spotted it immediately. 3. Why don't we go to the moon now? Why don't we go to the moon now? Are we fucking stupid? We claim to have all the technology. Why don't we just go? Just go. Just go. Well, the big problem with going to the moon is that there's just barely any interest from no one to go there. Why would we go to the moon when there's just not much to explore there? Besides that, who would want to invest in such thing? It just wouldn't be beneficial for humanity to go there. However, there's a planet which is way more beneficial to go to. And we all know which planet I'm talking about. It's big. It's red. It's round. It's Ed Sheeran planet. What do you think Ed Sheeran was singing about in The Shape of You? He was singing about his planet. He just really loves swears, I guess. 4. Moon rocks. Moon cocks. Moon rocks. They are found on the moon. But they are very important for research. They have cosmic radiation, something rocks on Earth don't have. They are important for getting to know things about the moon and our universe. Although you are correct by saying we have found moon rocks on Antarctica, but the amount of rocks we brought back from the Apollo missions is just enormous. 328 kilograms of rock. This is such a substantial bigger amount than we could ever get from Antarctica. 5. The shadows. The shadows. The shadows. The shadows. Shadows. The shadows. The shadows. The shadows. The shadows. The shadows. The shadows. I'm back. So where were we? Oh, the shadows. Many claim there's something off about the shadows on the moon. If the sun is so far away and it's the only light source, all the shadows should have been parallel from each other. Sometimes go in different directions, suggesting studio lights. But the reason for this is that there was probably a wider lens being used. Because of this, it was possible that the shadows could go in different directions. And if there was studio lights involved and there was more lights being used, wouldn't it cast more shadows? But I want to stay on the topic of studio lights. In some pictures you see the astronauts in full light, but around them there's a pool of darkness. How could this be? Well, the moon landing is actually one big backlight. The greyish-white surface reflects the light from the sun very well. And also think about the spacesuits and the lunar module. They were highly reflective. Even the flag was made of nylon, so this would have made it highly translucent. 6. The camera. The camera that was used in the space missions was the Hasselblad 500 EL. And they mounted the camera to the suits like this. But there's one problem. There's no viewfinder. How could they see which pictures they were making? And how could we get such good pictures from the moon landing? Well, these astronauts were actually trained to become professional photographers. They brought the cameras everywhere they went, to their family gatherings, to hanging out with their friends. But if you take in consideration how many photos they were taking that day, 1407 photos, there were bound to be some great pictures. But the big question everyone is asking always is, where are the stars? Well, it's quite simple to explain. It has to do with the exposure of the camera. These cameras were set on daylight lighting. That means the stars are far too dim to be catched on film. Here are some examples how it worked with the settings. Besides that, how did they just forget to add stars while they were shooting? Okay, wrap it up. Beautiful work, people. Everyone's definitely gonna fall for this. Hey, didn't we forget something? No, I'm sure we didn't forget something. I'm sure you did. It may be a problem to how believable it is. No, can't be. I know how to shoot film way better than you. You clearly don't. Listen here, you little prick. You think that I, Stanley Kubrick, ever made a mistake? I made a space odyssey. I've studied for hours everything about space. You think I forget something? You forgot the stars. 7. A rope. Let's listen to our favorite conspiracy theorist ever, Joe Rogan.
Like, homeboy falls down, and then it looks like he gets yanked back up. Look at this. Whoops.
Oh, he did not. That is not him standing up.
Yeah, what is this?
That's not him standing up. You can't stand up like that.
Joe, there's just almost no gravity on the moon. That means the power you need in your legs to get up is just almost to none. Besides that, if you would have a rope, you would need such a thick rope to even pull a person plus a whole spacesuit up. This rope alone would cast a shadow onto any surface. Nowadays it will be easy to move a rope with simple CGI. But this technology was far from being available in 1969. That will make removing the rope almost impossible. 8. The boots. Alright guys, for this segment we need to listen to a real expert.
And what about this famous footprint that they keep showing us? It don't match the space boots that they've got on display.
If you just did a little bit of research, you would find photos of the boots they were wearing on the moon. And you could see they were wearing covers. 9. The flag. Last but not least, one of the most talked about conspiracy theories about the moon landing. And at the same time the most stupid of them all. The flag. Look at this footage. The flag is waving. How could that be? Well, if we wait until the astronauts let loose of the flag, we can see the flag immediately stops waving. But even after that, there's still footage of the flag moving a little bit. This has to do with the flagpole being hollow and made of aluminium. This means if you let loose of the pole will be bouncing a little bit. Therefore, the flag will be moving a little bit. And wouldn't it be a little bit weird if there was wind in a studio? Ah, Kubrick. You rookie. So now that we have explored that the moon landing is one of the stupidest conspiracy theories that there is out there, I want to discuss one thing. The USSR was constantly busy with spying on the USA. There was a high chance the USSR spies even checked in on the radio waves coming from the moon landing, meaning that these spies would hear everything the astronauts were saying. Therefore, you have never ever heard the USSR claim the USA faked the moon landings. So in conclusion, what would have been easier than faking the moon landing? That was just to go to the fucking moon. So I just want to thank the country for always discovering things and being beneficial for the development of this world. Thank you, America, for the amazing things you've done for this world.
That's one small step for man.
To disarm Iraq.
Ho ho ho, fuck.